From Epic trolling us with Attack on Titan to a new update with first person, these are 28 times Fortnite baited us. And if you've been paying attention to their socials recently, you might have fallen victim to some teasers when Fortnite began tweeting strange images. For some reason, it was only on the French account, and it turned out to be for April Fools, which made us all hyped for something new in-game. Well, unfortunately, it all led to nothing, marking yet another year with no prank. Well, unless the joke was faking an entire POI, because when we all dropped into Mega City to explore, a lot of people noticed something immediately.
This place looks officially nuts. Can I just break into the side of it? We got like 20-floor buildings. Wait, you're joking, right? You're joking me, right? It's just all looks.
Every building was completely solid with a zipline for skipping the entire thing except for 2 floors. Instead, they filled the city with a replacement for skateboards. Yeah, we've all been waiting for the feature since it was leaked last year, but it turns out Epic scrapped the idea and transformed it into grind rails, which is a little slap in the face. There's also no sign of hurdling after its removal, which seems to be getting more permanent by the day. It had issues from the start, and just when Epic thought they fixed it, it was disabled a second time, never to be seen again. That's just like a collab that everyone was looking forward to, only to be completely deleted from existence. In the new DC movie, Epic partnered up to bring Bloodsport to the game, along with these sprays teasing a bunch more characters. We didn't see any updates until Donald and James Gunn started hinting at adding Peacemaker on Twitter. It was basically confirmed, especially with his upcoming series, and John Cena even posting this. So while we all waited in anticipation, he did finally arrive, but as himself. Another strange appearance was the clock tower from Tilted at the start of Chapter 4. Everyone exploring the map found this hidden away in an ice cave looking kinda out of place. It seemed like Epic was building towards its return again, but months passed, basically making this a pointless teaser. That's not the only map change that went nowhere, because they baited everyone with a throwback last chapter. Blue Lake Island suddenly appeared in Season 4, and players started to notice it was thanks to a rift in the sky. Theories began claiming that more OG locations would return, only for them to spawn Grim Gables and then never touch it again. We're getting Attack on Titan in Fortnite this season, but when it was revealed, a lot of fans were worried. When we all jumped in game, Aaron only had 1 page, and the mythics were nowhere to be seen. Thankfully, it looks like Epic set our expectations low, because they suddenly revealed Levi and Mikasa are also making an appearance this Tuesday, so who knows what else Epic has up their sleeve. The collab should live up to the hype, unlike one of the worst events of all time. Fracture was promoted as an otherworldly and unexpected experience, which wasn't exactly a lie, because I don't think anyone was expecting to do quests for 30 minutes. Most of the action was all in cutscenes, and when we were promised a chance to reforge the island, instead, the map was already completed. It's not the only time the island has let us down after events, from winning battles in the Resistance season to an entire mothership crashing to the ground. Every time it felt like there was almost no damage. We saw it ruined in Skyfire, only to come back with a perfectly fine map. And in Chapter 3, we were tasked with reclaiming POIs, only for the blimps to crash across the map in the ocean. That's still not as bad as the destruction of one of Fortnite's most iconic weapons, because the assault rifle was removed at the start of Chapter 3 for the first time ever, with the community begging for its return. It wasn't until Epic teased us in Collision that people really started putting pressure on them, and they finally listened, adding it back with Chapter 4, only for us to realize it had been totally ruined with nerfs. While we waited for it to be unvaulted, players are crafting theories about the Foundation statue. Normally things like this are pretty crucial to the storyline, which is why an indestructible door had to mean something, right? People set their expectations low just in case we waited 8 seasons for another redacted bunker situation, but instead, it turned out 10 times worse. The Chrome even avoided the door, baiting us further because it was never even used. At least we can imagine what's inside with creative, but be careful what you make. UEFN promised endless possibilities, which is exactly what everyone wanted, until they posted the rules, threatening to ban anyone who uses copyrighted material. They shut down ideas like Mario Kart, Five Nights at Freddy's, and even existing Call of Duty maps. Even some official collabs have baited us, like the time Epic faked Force powers a year early. When Darth Vader arrived on the island, the trailer showed this, making it look like he had a Force choke mythic. But when we all landed to defeat him, he only dropped his lightsaber, making us realize it was an emote all along. When No Sweat Summer came around, players were also hyped for the reveal of a stage, which could only mean one thing: another concert. Before, we've had performances from Marshmello, Travis Scott, and Ariana Grande, but now a 4th stage was being prepared, with everyone hyped to see the artist. Time went on with all of us losing hope, until the next update when they wiped the stage off the map with no explanation. Fortnite's been leaving us in the dark a lot recently, especially when it comes to the storyline. Live events like Collision weren't bad, however a lot of players felt disappointed with the ending. The Foundation and Jones jumped into to the 0 point to chase Geno, but suddenly appear back on the island and we have no idea why. Turns out the entire scene wasn't included in the game and instead a part of the Zero War comics, which reveal a whole lot more that so many players will never even know about. Now, it's definitely not as upsetting as the fact that we're still waiting for First Person, which was leaked in the chapter trailer. And if you don't believe it was a reference, just a few weeks later, the setting got enabled by accident, giving us a first look. Now, of course, it wasn't finished, but we were teased its arrival in Season 2, and we're baited once again. The most forgotten troll of all time happened towards the end of the same season, as leakers found files for the return of both planes and choppas, which made perfect sense to avoid Chrome. It even got better when they added runways around the map, challenges involving the Stormwings, and it was all set to release until Epic changed it minutes beforehand, deleting them and unvaulting crash pads instead. Just when you think Epic couldn't trick us anymore, Fortnitemares began with hopes for the most anticipated collab of the year. They added a giant haunted house, basement, and upside-down grandfather clock. The signs were all pointing to a Stranger Things crossover for Halloween. The hints got deeper when another room was discovered completely upside down. The collab seemed obvious, but it turns out Epic was really just baiting us because nothing ever came of it. Definitely a missed opportunity, just like the volcano in Chapter 3, which arrived as the Daily Bugle and barely ever changed. Everyone loved the POI in Season 1, but expected it to change with each Battle Pass collab, like Fortress Vader. Instead, it stayed the exact same and remained there for 3 seasons before being changed to Lazy Lagoon, a POI we've already had. One thing that didn't stick around for long was Klombo, because he was wiped out of existence after just half a season. It wasn't long before new mounds reappeared, hinting towards his return with secret quests attached. We waited months, and Epic kept adding more teasers and even moving them towards the Collider for the event. But after nothing happened, the final troll appeared, with a Klombo skeleton marking their extinction. And that's not the only skull that baited half the community. The Devourer also made a return, with his skeleton being dug up by the IO. Everyone had theories that he will be revived or used to win the war, but it just stayed there with no changes for the entire chapter. I mean, even the Chrome didn't resurrect him. At least there's a reason to bring back some of the rarest emotes in history, well, until Fortnite only gave players 2 hours to buy them. Items like Tidy and Rambunctious were caught up in lawsuits years ago and hadn't returned for over 1,000 days. When they suddenly appeared in the shop, players are happy they could finally start returning, only for Epic to wipe them. And we never got our hands on some of the craziest weapons in the game after Epic totally baited us with them. In the end event, Foundation showed off some Rift Tech, giving Jones a pistol while he held a railgun. They looked insane, and everyone expected them to be mythics, and it even appeared on his picture in game. Well, that's why we were all pretty disappointed after defeating his boss, only to get an upgraded version of the MK. Now, it's still not as bad as creating an entirely fake location that never even came to the game. Marigold arrived with a trailer revealing the origin of the Golden Touch curse from Aurelia in a cave. The location looked insane, with many hoping for the return of the grotto, but instead we got this island, which looked nothing like it. The first shadows also got forgotten with a deleted backstory that Fortnite promised us. When the Burning Wolf released, Epic announced there would be a story for all 3 characters, and the trailer looked great until it was removed without warning. Now, for some reason, Epic struggles to let go of Coral Castle because they're too attached to it. It took 5 seasons to get rid of it the first time, and everyone celebrated until it returned again with the reality tree appearing everywhere across the map. It seems like it's the same for some other collabs too, because characters like Miles and Samus have been teased so many times but never arrived. It's likely that Epic never got the rights from Nintendo and are still waiting for the new Spider-Man movie for Miles, so let's hope they don't tease us any further unless it releases soon. That is 28 times Epic baited us in Fortnite. Make sure to use code T5G if Miles ever does come out, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.